In Abraham's case, he was declared righteous before offering Isaac. It was not putting Isaac on the altar that made Abraham righteous. Putting Isaac on the altar was Genesis 22. Abraham was already righteous in Genesis 15. He was already righteous in Genesis 15 verse 6. Abraham believed God and it was counted to him for righteousness. So putting Isaac on the altar was not a prerequisite for Abraham to be righteous. Abraham was not trying to prove a point. Abraham was not trying to make God happy. Abraham was not trying to show anything other than Abraham was trying to prove to himself that he has something. Are you catching this? He was not proving a point to anybody. He was proving to himself that he has something. Sabodagam. So, James will now say that Abraham proved his faith by putting Isaac on the altar. What James was teaching was spiritual growth. That after Abraham believed and he was righteous, when he began to grow spiritually, he proved to himself by putting Isaac on the altar that he had understood God's communication. I don't know who I'm talking to in this building. He was Maleta Nangalaya. He was proving to himself. All right, let's see where that is. What is used again? Matthew 22:35. Matthew 22:35.
Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying.
Tempting him and saying. The word tempting is the same word for assayed or the same word for proving. Proving to see. God does not prove to know. He knows without proving. God does not prove anything. God will not prove you. God will not say, Isaac, if you are truly born again, lie on the floor. Then it's not God. If he is God, he doesn't need you to show him what he knows. So God doesn't need to prove Abraham. God doesn't need to test Abraham. God is God because he knows. But Abraham was only proving himself that what he has, he knows what he has. Am I talking to somebody here? So the proving, the examining, the testing was not for God, rather it was for Abraham. I'm teaching here. Now, stay with me. We're going to get into some things. John 6:6.
And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do.
He knew what he will do. He knew what he will do. He doesn't need him to show him what he will do. He knew what he will do. Otherwise, then he's not God. He's all-knowing. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows what you will be in the next 5 years. It's not a mystery to him. Before God right now, you are already in the next 5 years. Because there's no time. He is seeing you right now in your full glory. You are the only one that is still going through the process. And as far as God is concerned, you're already glorious. For those he foreknew, he predestinated. Those he predestinated, he called. Those he called, he justified. Those he justified, he glorified. Right where you're seated, you're the epitome of God's glory. Shout yes, somebody. Mangala de Bojakayana. Whatever the devil is doing now, he's just wasting his time. As far as God is concerned, this matter has been concluded and you're glorious at the end of it all. You may go through things, you may be tried, you may be tested by life and circumstances, but keep your head squared, keep your shoulders high, keep your neck high, and tell yourself, this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. Where are the world overcomers in the building? Throw your leg and shout glory. Sit down, let's get back to work. James 1:13. Read for me. James 1:13.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
So anywhere there is testing, anywhere there is tempting, anywhere there is proving, it is not God. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot, just like a man cannot be pregnant, God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. So the character of God clearly explained that God never tempts anybody. So God didn't tempt Abraham.